Over the past year, I've worked with over 20 clients on AI integration projects, and that's been across the board: private equity, real estate, recruiting and staffing, healthcare services, defense. It's been a really wide range of use cases, which I think speaks to the fact that this is really a general purpose technology, which doesn't appear so often. One of the challenges has been trying to make sense of all these different use cases, the ways in which the technology can be applied in a way that is durable. So, there's always some new tool, there's some new breakthrough, there's some research paper that changes everything. It feels like coming out every week. And so I think one of the challenges, when you're operating on a strategic level with the C-suite is being able to think on longer timelines. How can you make better strategic decisions when it comes to integrating this technology into business processes, anticipating platform shifts, things like that? At the highest level, when things go right, you get 50% of your time back. And there are three levels of AI competency. The first is to use AI as an eager assistant. So think of this as like the recently graduated, very malleable, eager to please master's student who you can delegate tasks to, either for the purposes of doing information retrieval like an analyst to help you get the contextual information you need to do your work, as a co-pilot, somebody who you're going to work with in real time to accelerate your progress, or as a scribe. So you record things, they document it, they package up the information, they do all the knowledge capture, knowledge transfer work. That's level one. Now that's contingent upon you having a good idea of what it is that you actually want. So you have a goal and you want to use this assistant to accelerate your progress. Now, if you're not quite totally clear on what it is that you want to do, and this could be at the organizational level or individual level, using AI as a thought partner to help you get clarity is the next level use case for AI. This is getting easier and easier as the core capabilities of the models get better. And some of the affordances are built into consumer technology like ChatGPT, where you have voice to voice interface. I go for walks and talks with Claude and ChatGPT all the time when I'm trying to figure out what to do next, tackle some strategic problem, or do something I've never done before. You figure that out, then you move back to Assistant, you delegate effectively. And then finally, the most advanced level, there's a more fundamental kind of mindset shift that you can evangelize within your organization and get people to start to adopt, where AI becomes like electricity, where it's just in everything that you're doing. And you're thinking in this kind of AI native way. You're furiously delegating tasks. The technical term is factored cognition, right? So there are little things where you need to do some thinking, some decision making, some analysis, exactly what the appropriate way to package up a little task is and delegate it to AI. You're starting to build custom software that helps you go faster. It's bespoke. It's particular to your workflow. And the way you know it's really working is it's like electricity, where when it's off, you're super upset. So electricity goes off, like, I can't do anything. I'm at this point now where if I had my toys taken away from me, it would be extremely difficult for me to operate at the level that I'm at currently with the consultancy. So those are basically the three levels. Ultimately, AI as electricity is where you want to get to. In terms of figuring out where to, quote, install that first electricity outlet in the house or in the factory, so to speak, if you think of a knowledge work corporation as a factory, electricity comes online. Okay, we know this can help boost productivity. Where do we put the first outlet in the house? Generally, the way I've found it easiest to implement this in working with clients is to first figure out a goal. So it oftentimes is as simple as me asking the CEO, wave a magic wand, get a result in 3 months. What is it that you want? What's the outcome? Okay, we get really clear on that. And then we figure out, okay, what are the core processes that exist within the blueprint of the organization? What do the guts of the machine look like that are going to get you from point A to point B? And then we start prioritizing, figure out where are the places in the house, so to speak, to install
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
outlet. And then in terms of figuring out which workflows and which tasks are good candidates for AI delegation, these are tasks that operators know how to do, they have to do, and they don't want to do. I think one of the tempting mistakes that you can make when trying to do an AI implementation or an integration is to try to automate the things that people want to do. In general, probably half of white collar knowledge work are rote clerical tasks that need to get done, that are below the tip of the iceberg, that are this scaffolding that enables people to do the work that they find energizing and is valuable to the business. So try to figure out those things and prioritize them accordingly. Some other qualities in terms of what the data looks like and whatever else that make these better. But that's essentially the second step. And then finally, iterate and move as quickly as you can. I did product work for about 10 years. I worked with cross functional teams of engineers, designers, discovery, user experience researchers, et cetera, et cetera. You don't need a giant cross-functional team to start implementing this tech, even if you're building custom software. You can do it with significantly smaller teams. You can do it much faster, which also means that you should expect to get a substantial boost that is ambitious and going to happen much faster than you would expect with any kind of previous software implementation. So in particular, you want to get to the point where you're able to demonstrate you're getting a 2 to 20x productivity boost. So 50 to 95% of somebody's time back on a particular task. Work with one person who's a champion, who's just a frontiers person to begin with. I wouldn't recommend trying to do like an org-wide top-down approach, and then start collecting qualitative feedback. The question I usually ask at the end of an engagement is, if I took away the thing that we built or how to use these tools, how upset would you be from 1 to 5? You want to get to a 5, right? Like they're in screaming pain if they couldn't use the thing anymore because they would have to give up all this free time that they got back. And that just naturally tends to have a halo effect. People who are more conservative will sign on and start using the tools. It saves you a lot of time and energy.